No Dawn for the Caliginous Night is the latest full-length album from Finnish funeral death doom metal band Convocation. And this is a band I've covered quite a bit in the past, and one that is sort of directly related to the artists who are involved in basically Desolate Shrine and Laaksonen. He's sort of the maestro behind it, as far as I understand, and they originally were just going to make dark death metal, and eventually it became a funeral doom metal band, and very much in maybe both a typical Finnish style in some respects, but also just not a typical funeral death doom approach overall as we go from album to album. I think this is the album where they feel most themselves, but also related to groups like Esoteric and Tyranny and Prophetess that I've mentioned in here. Again, I've reviewed most of their all of their discography to this point, as well as most of Desolate Shrine's records over the year. They've always kind of placed in my lists, so I'm kind of an existing big fan of that work. So if you are looking to go a little bit deeper with your own listening, I would say familiarize yourself with the progression of Desolate Shrine, because that's really kind of where the artist both honed their craft and kind of went places with it. And then with this project, they sort of expand into different territories that are not only quite different, but the fidelity that they managed in their recording and their presentation, everything from the cover paintings to the design of everything. You see that progression over the last 10 or 15 years. And that's kind of what got me in the door with this band. I was already a big fan of their suggested influences, as well as the bands they were in before. Now, how is this record different? I think we'll cut to a clip. Again, this is not music for 15-second clips, but we'll get right into it to just get a sense of the sound and the register of the record. Now, heading into this, I think, third full-length record, I'm not sure exactly. I didn't really feel like Convocation's sound needed to get bigger, and I don't feel like they were leaning to do something outrageously outsized compared to the last record, because it was quite ambitious. There was chorales, there were various extra instrumental guests, there were guest vocalists, and all kinds of things that were adding up to a very big record. And what I think Convocation needed was more of its own signature, and I feel like that's kind of what they're kind of getting at here with this record, is that we're getting a little bit more sense of their songwriting and a little bit more of their arrangement for vocals, as well as different things like use of organs and choirs, and how they can put that to better use that serves the song and the experience as a whole. So I think really what they provided here is a deeper atmosphere, bigger songs, more memorable moments, and more than just slow building pieces that we get from a lot of modern funeral doom today. There's quite a lot of death metal in this record, and there was in the last one as well. And I think that's a really strong focal point to continue to nurture there beyond the extravagance of it all. It feels like quite a big record, and one that it might get buried in the terms of the big releases coming out in November, but for me, this one stands out quite a bit as an existing fan, and as someone who appreciates the nuances of both classic funeral doom metal and death doom metal post 2000. And I think that if you've been a fan of that type of music for that long, this is a band that it'll kind of be everything at once. There's a lot to really like about the way they build these songs, as well as how they kind of pull off melody and atmosphere in a rich but not never happy or playful. It's very much meant to be a morbid experience, and as such, it rates pretty highly with me. This was a very high recommendation for me. It is one of the more essential releases from November this year, and you can read more about that in the written review that I've put up on the site, and you can check the album out now. It released last weekend.